Fancy something a little bit spicy? This is my firecracker chicken. First of all, we're going to get on with our marinade. Now, our marinade is quite simple. We've got 4 tablespoons of honey. You can use brown sugar if you haven't got any honey. We've got 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. We've got 2 tablespoons of Sriracha, so just like a hot chili sauce. We've got 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and we've got a tablespoon of malt vinegar. Give that a good mix round. Now over here, we've got something which you might not have at home. We've got 3 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, but it's the green one. If you haven't got the green one, just use the red one. I've got 1½ cloves of crushed garlic and 1 centimetre of ginger. I'm going to add just a small splash of water, and you're going to save the rest of that for when you start cooking it, because it will start to thicken up and you want to break that down again and thin it back up again and then thicken it again. Thick and thin, thick and thin. We've got the juice of 1 lime. We've got 1 Thai chilli. Just going to roughly chop that. Seeds and all. I've played about with this recipe for ages, and I've learned not to taste the sauce because it is so hot. But that chili alone isn't hot enough. We're going to go in with 1 Habanero chilli. If you haven't had these before, they're quite hot. So I'm going to chuck that in, and then finally got 2 whole dried chilies. These are Thai chilies, just 2 red ones. Give that a good mix round. Now that is going to kick out quite a lot of warmth. So we want to try and get some of that warmth into the chicken. So I've got myself 4 chicken breasts here, and I'm just going to roughly cut these into bite-sized chunks. Give that a really good mix round, and you can leave that in the fridge for about an hour just to start taking up some of those flavours. So you're going to get a pan up to heat. We're going to add a splash. I'm using a tiny bit of sesame oil today. You're going to add that chicken to the pan. So it's important to just leave that sauce to one side. But remember, we're going to add that at the end and carry on cooking it through because it's had the raw chicken in there. But if you add too much of that into the pan straight away, it will just start to caramelise the honey and it will start to burn. Nice high heat. So while that's about 3/4 of the way cooked through, we're going to start chopping up our red and our green peppers. And again, you just want these into reasonable size chunks. In with our peppers. You don't want to add them too soon, otherwise they go really, really soggy. You want them to have a little bit of a crunch to it as well. Now with the onion, I'm just going to take off the root, and again, nice big chunks. Give that a little stir through, and you can see your sauce has started to reduce, which means we can go back in with our last little bit. Now we can just leave that to render down until it slowly reduces the sauce by about half. Over here, we have got the sugar snap peas. We are just going to literally just chop, 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 choppity chop. And you only want them in there literally just for a minute. They've got to have that lovely crunch to them when you eat them. Right, off with your heat, and that residual heat will just carry on cooking those sugar snap peas. We're going to grab ourselves 1 spring onion. I'm just going to roughly chop that. I'm just going to sit that to one side. Let's start plating this one up. You're going to take the rice off the boil. I'm going to just scoop that into a bowl. Leave the bowl over the top, and you're going to scoop your firecracker chicken all around the outside. And we're just going to take our spring onions and just lightly scatter them around the outside. Off with your rice bowl. Now to finish this off, we've got some cayenne pepper and a few sprinkles of our poppy seeds. Finally, add your little slice of lime over the top. That is my firecracker chicken. If you recreate this one, which you must do, just so you can believe how good this is. It has got a hot element to it, but I love that about this dish. If you recreate it, hashtag me as Haste Kitchen. Hope to see loads of recreations of this one, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye-bye.